Got RadFxSat still in the test pod, which we received it back from Tyvek, who did the shock testing for us this last week. And I'm going to be removing it from the test pod so that we can do our short functional and aliveness tests to make sure that it's working okay. After the shock test, everything looks good. According to them, no failures, at least externally, and as far as no parts rattling around or anything. So we'll check it out further to make sure it works electronically. But first, as I left off last time, I mentioned that there was some FOD, foreign object debris, on it as a result of the shock test, and I can't go to details about that, but I am going to clean that debris off. It appears to be very minimal and should not pose any risk, but I'm going to give it a good look, and I'm going to see if I can find any little particles that might pose a problem. I'm going to vacuum it off, which should be very interesting. That's a good reason to have this going live, because then hopefully I've got somebody watching over my shoulder, so I can't mess up or I'll look really stupid, huh? Anyway, just had a look here. I don't see any big chunks of anything. I'm going to use a brush and see if any of what I see here appears to be of any concern. Really, I don't see much, if anything. What our concern would be is if it possibly got to, if it's anything conductive, where it might short, say, the solar panel connections, or get down inside of the satellite. There are little cracks there between the solar panels, so something could get down inside there. Now, the conformal coating protects most of what's in there, but we don't want anything going inside anyway, if we can help it, of course. I'm only able to scoop up or sweep up a few tiny things that I'm not sure what they are. Could be dust, could be junk from the air, junk from the inside of the Pelican case. There's a few little speckles on the solar cells. Kind of see if I can move them into a little pile. Ah, yes. I think we do have a little bit of what we're kind of looking for, if you will, based on what we know happened, but I can't tell you about. So I'm going to take a picture of that if I can. Clean off my cell phone so that I can handle this thing without cleaning my gloves every time I handle it. You know, you don't want all that finger oil, and you know how cell phones get, right? Yeah, those screens get pretty yucky, huh? So there. I turned down the volume and did all sorts of fun stuff. Anyway, then take a picture of that so I can also send it to our mechanical engineer for some analysis. Wow, all I get is the reflection. If I try it like this, huh? There it is. It's hard to get it focused, but change this down to a 4x3. This hopefully then, based on what I'm seeing, doesn't amount to much. Plus, I'm hoping that it'll clean up very easily. Again, if I can get it to focus. And I get that reflection there, it makes it very difficult. Pooh, let's try it with a flash. Almost focused. Come on. Not very good. Nope. Be here all night doing this, huh? All I want is a picture. Oh, there we go. No more. I don't even need the flash for that. Yeah, okay. Please pardon all the self-backpatting there. So that was a little bit interesting there, what turned out on top. Now my idea, as I said, is that I want to try to vacuum this all up so that we don't have anything trying to escape inside. Although I don't see anything that looks too, not too, but I don't think that really looks at all to be a threat. There is a little bit of stuff there, so definitely what we want to clean up. What I plan to do is I use, yes, a household vacuum cleaner. And just put the little crevice tool on it and suck it up. So, let me get that hooked up. Probably not going to sound too good on the streaming video here, but I'll warn you before I turn it on, and you can turn the volume down. If I can find a plug. Kind of crowded for plugs here. There we go. And, oh, I forgot to clean this. Okay. Hang on while I clean the vacuum. so that I can hold this thing. All right. Let me get the big glasses on here, and here we go. So, turn down your volume. I'm going to hit the vacuum here. Let's see. Looks like they got it. So, now, I'll take it out of the test pod. if I can get my fingies in there. May have to give it a little. There we go. And there we have it, out of the test pod. Now I'm going to look inside the test pod to see if I see any debris in there. A little Radio Shack blacklight. Nothing that really shows up under the black light. A little bit of possibly dust on the inside. We have the Velcro over the windows here just to keep dust out. But what I'm thinking, if there was a little debris on the satellite when it was put into the test pod, because they didn't test it in the test pod, they tested in an actual P-pod 3U type test setup, and then they put it back in here to ship to us because we used the test pod for the rest of our environmental testing. I don't notice anything that the black light really reveals. It's a little bit too much there. There's a little bit of whitish stuff that is similar to what I saw on the Plus Z there. But that was what I considered to be dust. There was really only one piece that I could identify on the Plus Z that looked like it might have been the debris that Tyvak was telling us that they found as a result of the testing. So now I will take a closer look at the other sides of the satellite. And do my own quick inspection of how well it held together. A couple of the things I want to look at are the antennas. Did they stay stowed properly? And the transmit side looks good. The receive side looks good. I'm going to take a picture of this. And on the other panels, do I see anything that looks like any of the FOD? Looks like the spring plungers and the deploy switches are looking good. RBF pin. This tape will seal over it when we're done. Right now it gives us access to the umbilical port and the RBF pin, but once we're done with the umbilical charging and everything, we put this tape over it so that when it's in flight, just adds a little bit, removes that hole, plugs it up for thermal purposes. Okay, yeah, looks mechanically sound. A little bit of that stuff on this panel, but again, I don't see any pieces the size of what I'm looking for, or do I? No, there might be one there. Actually, I think that one went with the brush. Guess I'll take the vacuum to that side as well. So, plug your ears again. Okay, so let's say that was the plus y. Let's give it a little flip. And we'll do the minus x. And, might be a little bit there. I wouldn't be surprised if this really is all a little bit of what they were looking for. Perhaps some smaller particles. Which would explain that they maybe stuck to the sides a little bit more instead of falling to the bottom. Let's vacuum that one. Mind your ears. Oh, jeez. Mind your vacuum. That's what it is. Interesting little All right then. So we did plus y minus x. Excuse me. Now we'll do minus y. Don't see anything here really. Interesting little side effect of the shock test, huh? Expected to get it back, and if it was in one piece, which of course we're pretty sure, but we've never had to do a shock test on any of the Fox satellites before, so it was a first, and therefore a little bit more of a nervous trip than, for example, the vibration tests and bakeouts that we've done before. Fox-1A had by far the most stringent vibration tests, and the rest of them have been less in magnitude. Therefore, we're got a little bit of confidence about how well it'll pull through that. Here I go with the vacuum again. And plus x. This one looks pretty clean too. And a little bit on this panel or cell. trying to just, you know, if there is anything there, very difficult to see on the cold, but kind of sweep it into a pile, you know. Brush it away from contacts if there's anything there. Yeah, there's some little stuff on there. It could be what we're trying to get rid of. So, here we go with the vacuum again. That's looking good. Okay, finally, minus Z. Don't see anything on the cells. One more vacuum. One more. Just in case there's anything caught on that RBF thread there. So, I want to say that that is all there is to it as far as cleaning up the satellite. I will clean the inside of the test pod as well, in case anything fell in there. That'll be kind of tricky, but here we go. One more vacuum. trying to get down under the pusher plate as best I could. Put a piece of tape back over there, huh? So, I'm sure that was very exciting, huh? But that's all part of what it takes to get one of these babies in space, so hope you enjoyed the ride. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Get that matched up just right. Not as easy as it looks. There. All right. Tomorrow, probably tomorrow night, Monday night that is, Texas time. Anyway, sometime Monday, when I can get a couple people rounded up, we'll do the short functional and aliveness tests. So, for now, that's all we got going on. We got it all cleaned up. We got it all out of the test pod. Everything looks good. So we'll do our short functional and aliveness tests tomorrow. You don't come to think of it, wouldn't hurt to check the battery, huh? .9 volts. Looking good. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, a little bit more of what goes on to get to one of these things into space. This will be the 4th of the Fox-1 series when it flies. And thanks for tuning in. Good night from Fox Lab.